Hello! For me it's always a joy to tell about some devices created in Ukraine. It touched my patriotic feelings and making me really happy. And today is one of those examples. I will tell you about digital to analog converter and headphone amplifier combo S-Audio Systems Focus. It's pretty unusual device because it's developed by engineers with minimalistic approach to the sound, but with the goal to achieve the maximum possible sound quality. So there is no some fancy digital to analog converters, black gate capacitors and so on. It's just based on the scientific research and calculations. And most unusual thing here is that here used a special digital to signal processor with custom firmware. That firmware is responsible for three things. First one is finite impulse response filter used as a digital filter for the digital to analog converter. It's custom developed filter that eliminates pre-ringing in the digital to analog conversion. Also, this DSP used for the volume control with dithering using high precision algorithm. And third, and probably the most interesting thing here, is digital crossfeed technology. You probably know that in the headphones there is no real stage, because staging is based on the delays between our ears. When we hear signal coming from the right side, we hear it first by our right ear and then with slight delay from left side, by left ear. And based on this delay, our brain builds imaginary stage. Also, it uses some additional information like echoes from the outer ear and phase changes, but in general it's all about the delays. There are some implementations of digital to analog converters and amplifiers that uses crossfeed schema, but they use a simple filter, and here implemented much more complicated schema with custom mixing chart. Actually, I will put a link to the main site in the description. There everything is described in more details. So here you also implemented sophisticated crossfeed. I will cover it a bit later in the sound description part. And also this device is really powerful, so it's capable of outputting up to 12 volts peak to peak and up to 600 milliamperes just 600 milliamperes peak to peak. It's a pretty powerful amplifier, and it can easily drive even power hungry planar headphones. But also it has gain switch, so you can select low gain if you have headphones with normal sensitivity. So probably I have told everything that I wanted to tell in the preface part. Price is $800. It can be ordered from the company's website, and now let's have a closer look. S-Audio decided not to spend money for the retail packaging, so if you will order it, you will have it in the regular bubble wrap without some retail box, without manual or something like that, so just amplifier itself, but I think it's pretty much that you will need. So as you can see, it's really small. It's surprisingly small for such a powerful device, but it's typical for the S-Audio designs. They created really popular among do-it-yourself people in ex-Soviet Union amplifier and digital to analog converter, and now they've decided to make a combo. So on the front panel there is input selector, it's USB or SPD, it supports up to 192 kHz, and gain switch, so two positions with this crossfeed. B stands for binaural, low gain and high gain, and also without crossfeed, it's just pure output. In this mode you can use it as a high-end digital to analog converter with your external amplifier, but actually it works for the headphones output too. so 6.3mm headphones out, and the volume control. Here used a nice potentiometer, but volume control is done in digital domain using good design, so everything works smoothly. Zero channel imbalance, of course, zero noise when you're rotating this knob, and pretty good sensitivity, so there is enough of free rotation space to adjust the volume as necessary and get the best possible option for you. And on the back panel here is power input, on off, SPDIF input and USB, and of course line out you implemented as 2 RCA, so you can use it as pure digital to analog converter. It's small, but case is pretty reliable, made of metal, everything is made pretty well. I think it stands reliably on the table, and I think it's really good device for those who need something to drive power-hungry headphones, for example, but to use it with computer. And of course about the sound. First of all, let's have some headphones on the table. Today's illustration I will use Hi-Fi Man's Ananda. You know, it will be subject of one of the next reviews, but actually it's really great headphones, and probably I can say that, at least to my taste, it's a Hi-Fi Man model that offers best price-quality ratio. Of course, their more expensive models are noticeably, well, not maybe noticeably, but better in terms of sound, but taking price into account and actually overall pleasant of listening, Ananda is really great. But let's talk about it a bit later in next reviews. And about the sound of Focus digital to analog converter, first thing that you will notice, it's and everyone will notice, it's power. It's really powerful, and even in the low gain it still remains pretty decent in terms of power. So probably you know, biggest, not actually issue, it's a feature, it's by itself it's not created for the super sensitive in-ear monitors, but luckily we've got iFi IE match and other adapters with impedance, and they are fixing all issues with extra power. So iFi IE match will fix all the problems with here. So besides that, it's really natural device and really high in terms of level, and really natural and uncolored, but at the same time it's not sounding dull, because it's really naturally sound. Of course, if you will feed some high quality recordings to it, it's really not, well, it's critical to the quality of the recording, but not in terms of MP3 or high resolution FLAC files. It's critical to mastering it. It needs good mastering, good mixing, and properly recorded things. So without this binaural processor, it's natural, resolving really fast, perfectly controlling all frequencies. Lows are tight, impactful, of course zero accent in all frequencies. Lows are tight, impactful, have a great depth, they're going as deep as possible, so only your headphones will be the limit here. And it's building really solid foundation for the audio actually. Mids are natural, uncolored, resolving, so if you like colored mids, it's not an option for you. It won't try to make some warm sound or add additional weight or add additional emotions, but all that is present in the recording it will represent with absolute accuracy and quality you will get it. Imaginary stage is really big, it's spacious, actually it will be as big as mastering allows. And treble, I really like treble here. I'm a treble head. It's probably one of the best controlling treble digital to analog converter and amplifier combos I've tried. really good layering, good extension, perfect balance. It's not sibilant, and at the same time it's not hiding treble. Just because of that perfect control, it will give you that amount of treble that your headphones is capable of reproducing. It won't add anything, it won't hide anything, and this sophisticated digital filter that is used here is especially noticeable on treble because it eliminates pre-ringing. That is a problem for many Delta Sigma digital to analog converters, and this approach, it's noticeable. So S-Audio spent some time creating this firmware for digital signal processor, and it gave its benefits. But of course the most interesting thing is that crossfeed schema, and to enjoy it fully you will need some neutral headphones, so something like Hi-Fi Man planars or Meze Empyrean or some other models with frequency response close to neutral. With this headphone, from inexpensive models, PSB for example could be used or something like that. So this crossfeed tuned to emulate speakers working in the near field and located at the sides of your head with 45 degrees angle, and you will definitely hear this effect. Of course it requires some usage because it definitely moves the sound source from your head to outside, let's say, so sources of sound will be moved from between your ears forward, but at the same time of course it's just an emulation, because what will require some usage when you rotate your head, stage will follow your head. It's not that we should expect in real life. In real life, if you turn head for left, stage will remain on the place, so it moves to the right, and vice versa. So I think in some future we will need headphones with a positional sensor. Odyssey implemented something like that, but their crossfeed schema is too primitive, so we need this crossfeed and Odyssey sensors. But actually after some usage, I really enjoy this. Not all tracks benefit from this. It depends on the recording, it depends on mastering, but sometimes it gives really outstanding, really astonishing effect. For example, in the Pink Floyd Happiest Days of Our Life, there is a helicopter passing in front, passing sound of helicopter flying by you at the beginning, and without this crossfeed in headphones you won't get the right positioning, you won't get this effect of helicopter flying over you, and with this crossfeed it will definitely do the trick. And sound of steps in one of the tracks at the Division Bell album, actually it scared me, because I was listening it late in the night and I thought that someone is walking besides me. So, and in the music sometimes it will also give you nice effect. Especially it's good with properly recorded jazz music, with some classical rock tracks, with other genres that have good mixing and good mastering. With classical music, with chamber music, you will have definitely interesting effect. With something like pop music, for example, or with electronic dance music, effect would be not so great. But actually with some electronic track music also I've got interesting effect, but because they often use 3D effects, stereo. But with pop it won't benefit much. Of course, if we're not speaking about something really well recorded, like I don't know, George Michael live concert or some Sting tracks and so on. And to summarize, really capable universal device, good digital to analog converter with really natural sounding, with good headphone amplifier, really powerful and created for the power-hungry headphones, but also working nicely with sensitive headphones. But for most sensitive models you will definitely need adapter with impedance. So a perfect example of the device created by engineers using engineering approach based on calculations, based on science, and not on some snake oil. Thank you for attention.